Hello everybody, my name is Blair. Welcome back to the School of the Spirit. So this is 33 episodes led by the Holy Spirit. If you haven't listened to my first episode, go ahead and play back that episode. We were talking about unlocking the most spiritual book in the world and why some Christians aren't able to understand it. And so that is, some of those things are foundational, but 33 episodes, we are on episode 2, and I'm just glad to be here with you guys to be able to just start sharing my heart. As we kind of progress through these episodes, I want to be able to kind of lay down certain foundations, that way when we get into even deeper topics that it'll make sense for the most part for you. If these episodes are causing questions to come up in you, I think that's like a good thing, because I just want to just lay it out there. Disclaimer, I don't know it all. I am on a journey with you, and while I have some experience and some wisdom and some knowledge on some of these topics, there's always room to learn more. This is not something that I'm like, hey, like I just want you to follow me, because it is anything but about me. I am like just being a guide. That is about it. I love teaching, and I just want to share these things with you. And so listening, I mean, it can be a little bit confusing, like when I'm like, I'm gonna share on episodes led by the Spirit. What does that even mean? And so being able to sense the Spirit in the first place, one of the things that really distracts most of us, and it distracts me. I'm actually on a journey right now to really declutter my life from certain aspects of social media, declutter certain things on my, let's say, like, I want to make sure my room is clean. I want to make sure my desktop on my laptop is in order. I want to make sure that I have like only the necessary apps that I need on my phone, because like let's get real, like any button, any notification is just a shot of dopamine, and all those things, like I don't know about you, but I've always, for a long time, I wanted to just like wake up and like I'm checking my emails, I'm checking my phone, I'm stressed out already, and some of those things distract you from being able to listen to the Spirit. When I talk about listening to the Spirit, He actually uses all of your senses. And so last time we were talking about the Holy Spirit and why He is so important in the Christian lifestyle. And like one of the reasons like why I want to be able to share my faith with you and in my journey is because like the church setting can be really intimidating. There's actually spiritual warfare that happens if you aren't a believer. I mean, even if you're a believer, but like I'm gonna lay it like this. When I was like super spiritual for such a long time, and I wanted to know about a higher power. I studied all the different types of religions, seeing what was gonna work with me. Some religions like catered more to nature, which like I love nature. That's kind of like my wheelhouse. But at the end of the day, I found a path that was made completely for me, and I just encourage you to find yours. Before I became a believer, I wanted to know more about God, and I figured that it's like, oh yeah, well, maybe I can go to church and just sit in the back and learn and listen. But you know what? I came up against such resistance when I wanted to do that. I remember driving from my house a half hour away to a church. I would actually sit in the parking lot and contemplate and stress and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna walk in there, I'm gonna be totally judged. Yeah, there's just something that like maybe I just don't belong there. Yeah, I was like, well, do I have to like pay money because I'm sitting here in a service? And so is it about like the church just like trying to take money from me? And Am I just going to hear the same messages over and over again? A lot of those things were really intimidating to me. But anyways, there was a spiritual battle happening in that parking lot, so much so that I would drive home. Yeah, I would sit there like for 5-10 minutes, watch other people walk into the church, and I'd turn around, drive a half hour right back home. And basically, I wasted an hour of time. And I did that on multiple occasions because there's something significant about being in a place that's filled with the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is everything in a church. Yeah, so let's talk about things of the Spirit. How does the Spirit speak? I want to just suggest to you that the Spirit has been speaking to you all, if not most of your life. You just didn't know it. You weren't well aware. And I think that's like, it's okay if you're not, because I certainly was not. We're hearing a lot of things. If you are living in the city, I know like here when I live, like living in Colorado, there is a lot of stimulus here. This is not like living back home in Iowa where I could drive like 10 minutes and there's like no one around. I'm just all like, especially during the week, if I go to a park or something, they're just like no one around. There's no one there. It's quiet. I can hit the back roads in the country and just chill. Me in the car and the wind in my hair. You know, it is easy. But there's so much stimulus in the cities. So if that is a place that an area that you live in, there are certainly challenges to get into silence and solitude, and just to really have eternal peace. Have you ever tried just taking an entire minute of just like, I don't know, like meditating or something, just like closing your eyes and for a minute, just trying to think of nothing? And that's like really hard because the moment that you begin, in the first 10 seconds, things are popping up. It's like, oh, did I do this task? What am I supposed to do tomorrow? Whoa, what's the weather like? You know, just some of these things that nitpick at you all day long. And those things are distracting. But the Spirit is speaking to you in through all of your senses, all your 5 senses, your sight, your smell, your touch, your taste, and what am I missing? Hearing, maybe. And then also, he also speaks through dreams, which that I think that's like something that we all have in common, is that most of us, it should be all of us, dream. And if you aren't dreaming, there might have been some kind of a trauma or night terrors that you vowed not to dream anymore, and maybe that's why you're not dreaming. But for the most part, we all dream. But I want to like talk a little bit about a moment a few months ago, I think now. I was actually walking inside of a Target store. I thought I was going to go buy something, but I actually didn't buy anything. But I remember walking into the electronics aisle, and like for me, I feel the Spirit through my touch. And so I actually feel a presence come upon my hands, come upon my arms. He can speak in so many different ways. Sometimes like when he speaks, it's kind of like I just know. There's something inside of me that just know. And like for you, maybe, have you ever had those experiences like where you're walking into a place and you get like chills up and down your spine, or you just have like this sense of like danger, or like I'm not supposed to be here, or something? It's like these spiritual things are actually happening around you and to you to kind of inform you of what's happening in your surroundings. Well, in this certain situation, when I felt the Spirit land upon my body, I was like, oh, it just let it, made my ears perk, and I'm like, oh, hey, so is there something going on right now? As I walk down the aisles and I feel in the presence like get stronger, I actually run into a lady. A lady had her phone on speaker, and she was being spoke to by another person, and that person on the other line was talking about the Holy Spirit and was like, hey, yeah, like this is a great opportunity to be baptized in the Spirit. And I know like some of this is like Christianese for some people, but that is like a thing, being baptized in the Spirit. It talks about that in the book of Acts. But yeah, being baptized in the Spirit. So yeah, that was happening in the aisle, and I knew right then that like, hey, actually, he wasn't really prompting me to do anything, but he was just letting me know that, hey, I'm working here, and I thought that was pretty cool. And so yeah, that's certainly one way to hear from the Spirit, because like telling you what is like God and spirits and the angelic, they speak, and it's like outside of the Bible. Yes, the Bible talks a lot about these things, but at the end of the day, if God was actually just contained, he was like stuck in this book, then I don't know if I'd be serving him, because like he's stuck in a book. But we're talking about yeah, just a higher power that's like present everywhere. And so yeah, so like anyways, if you have any questions regarding some of the five senses and how he speaks, like those are good questions to ask yourself, like because I know that he speaks to everyone differently. Some people he really does like show up in like in visions. Some when I say visions, it's like it's almost like your imagination, so your mind's eye. Others have actually seen like almost like a screen right in front of you. Well, people that hear from the Lord may have like a hunch of what he's saying, but others have actually heard him audibly, as if someone was like standing there speaking to them. That's never happened to me, but I know of others that have mentioned that has happened to them. And so I want to just say like, hey, nothing's impossible. So pretty cool. Let's move on to dreams, because dreams is something that we can kind of really like, this is kind of like an even playing field, because we all dream. And what I want to just encourage you with is that like both like both God and the enemy. Well, when I said the enemy is like you ever get like nightmares and night terrors and stuff, and I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I got terrible nightmares and terrible night terrors. You know, like I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to like share it with other people. I mean, like what did it matter? You know, is kind of what I thought. But the thing about those nightmares and night terrors is that I would find myself after that event, whatever it was, I was actually drained. Like my energy was drained all day long. And yeah, I didn't know that I was just being attacked in my sleep. And so yeah, it wasn't until, you know, really diving into more of the spiritual and supernatural, and really just discussing it with other people that are dreamers, that I came to really fully understand what was happening during those times. I want to talk to you about a dream that actually came true. It came true I was in wellness for about an 8-year period, a personal trainer at the time of this dream, and I had several clients going on, and I just hired on a new client. It was this little boy. His name was Gabriel, and his parents had a few different personal trainers that they tried to hook their son with, but nothing really stuck. Son got bored of whatever they were doing. And so, but anyways, I had this dream one night, and in this dream, like I want to title this like Mama Bear. And so in this dream, I see a woman with like short hair, dirty blonde, and in the kitchen, she was in the kitchen, and in one of the kitchen cupboards was this little boy all curled up, and he was just yelling out loud, Mama Bear, where are you? And uh, the lady in my dream picks him up and holds him and continues to say, Mama Bear, where are you? Even though like he was in the lady's arms. And then I woke up, and so that dream happened really quick for me, and I had no idea what it meant, but what I do recall is like a series of events that led me to really understanding. And so getting this new client, Gabriel, I was meeting up with his parents one day, and well, it was really specifically his mom. And so I went to their home. She let me in, and it was weird. I just had this hunch. I was like, and as we were speaking, I was like, man, is this the person? And like I needed to know for myself. And so I needed to be bold and just ask. And so I asked. I'm like, hey, I know this sounds like weird because it's kind of weird, but I had this dream, and it kind of reminds me of you. But yeah, anyways, I explained to her my dream, and she replies back. She's like, wow, like my son Gabriel used to hide. He would hide in different places of the house, and he would cry out for Mama Bear. And yeah, he did that all the time when he was younger. And I was like, well, that's so weird. Why would he continue to cry out Mama Bear after you found him? And she was like, well, actually, I'm his adopted mom. We are his adopted parents. And my mind was blown. I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. And the thing is like the story didn't stop there. And so yeah, like, all right, so we're gonna get in some some deeper stuff here, I guess. Yeah, she was like, yeah, even now, like he will cry out, and almost like he's looking for his mom. And the thing is like we have his mom's urn in our home, and he has been seeing like an aspiration, something. He has been seeing his mom, his like spirit mom, walking around, and she the mom now, she mentioned that sometimes that the urn that had the ashes in it still, the lid would come off. I know, that's freaking crazy, right? That gave me chills the moment I heard that. I was like, what? And like my mind is running as she's talking about this, and I'm like, well, it sounds like you like, yes, this is important, but you need to like remove this urn from the home. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's gonna like affect Gabriel, until like he moves or I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was a dream that like came true, that was real, that I needed to step out to see. Like, one, I'm like, oh, am I hearing from the Spirit? And what is God saying? Like, and you might be asking yourself, like, does God really speak like that? And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm not the only one that has heard from God in that way. There are so many others that are consistently hearing from God and in the Spirit. But you were made to be a spiritual being, and so all those things are available to you, being able to use all of your five senses. Yeah, looking forward to just continuing these 33 episodes, followed completely by the Spirit. And this is episode 2, so episode 3 is gonna come soon. I'm hoping to start getting more of these episodes out faster and sooner, because I have a lot more time. I'm going to be creating a website and some things for some resources for you guys, and maybe some opportunities to meet you guys through maybe a massive Zoom call or whatever, a workshop. Maybe we can meet live in person and just talk about spiritual stuff, and that's certainly open to seekers, to spiritualists, to whatever things you believe in. Like I say, like, let's bring it all to the table and let's just talk. And I think that's pretty awesome. So anyways, that is it for the episode. I am so excited just to like continue this journey with you guys. Please like and subscribe. This is gonna be both on YouTube and on Podbean for the moment. And Podbean is a podcast place, but I'm hoping to be able to expand to different platforms like Spotify and other podcast arenas. But until then, like and share with others that you think might be interested in this. And please subscribe and comment. Email me at Blair School of the Spirit. Looking forward to next time. All right, that's it. I'm Blair 1000. Peace out.